Okay, the purpose of this video is just to discuss a few points about the withdrawal strategy, not the withdrawal to your payment processor or the process of it, but rather how much you're going to select in order to withdraw. So this here is my AHP forecast calculator. This is what I'm going to use to illustrate the point. There is another video on my YouTube channel explaining the sheet if you want to get to grips with it before proceeding with this video. But the points I want to just make clear in order to illustrate my points effectively. G, here, column G, this is the active ad pack total that you have. So the number of shares in your back office times by 45 will equal these numbers. And whenever we have a decrease in the active share number, this sheet here, well, this column rather, will turn red. So we want to avoid the red. Coming over here, column P, this is the average profit that we're going to be having per day. For the purpose of this video, I've just set it at 7%. Obviously, it's not a static percentage that we will get as part of this program. Column Q, that is the amount of daily profit share that we will get as a result. And over here in column AA, we have the percentage repurchase rate. At the moment, it's obviously set at 100%, so we are withdrawing nothing, and we are repurchasing or putting everything back into AdHitProfits. Sorry. So currently at 100%, we can see here column Q is growing nicely. 138 at the beginning, and then 23 days later we're looking at 179. And the same here for column G, increasing nicely, touching on 2,000 on day 1, and then all the way down here 23 is 2.5 grand. So 100% repurchase will obviously work. What I'm going to do is type in a different number into this repurchase and just show you how much of an effect it will have on your active ad pack balance, and therefore obviously your daily profit share. Okay, so I've typed in 70% as a repurchase rate on a consistent basis, and what we can see here is in column G we now have a bit of red littered throughout, which is bad news, because that means that our account will be decreasing. And of course over here in column Q we have the same thing, 138 60 on day 1, and then later on down the line here on the screen we can see 122. So we are not increasing our account by keeping to a 70% 30 rule, just like some other popular programs, or once popular programs, do. So I'm going to demonstrate now another number, and you might be interested to see what the result is. Okay, so I've now entered 80% as the repurchase rate, and as you will see in column G here, everything has remained exactly the same, and in column Q everything has remained exactly the same. So we are now in a maintenance phase rather than a growth or indeed a decline. But the other point we should notice is that this is only apparent because the percentage profit share per day is static at the moment, and that coincides with the fact that we can only have 25% maximum profit on each ad pack that we buy. Should any of those factors change, which obviously the percentage will because it's a variable one, then these figures will change. So the point to take home about this is an 80% repurchase rate will give you somewhat fluctuating results, but you will be looking at around about a maintenance phase with this kind of percentage repurchase. You could also imagine as well, if we go through a boom where we have, which we have recently now in the middle of June, we have a number of weeks of very high percentage. If we dropped down to then say 5% to 7% later on, we've got a lot of ad packs expiring to the point where we can only buy few back, and therefore that's going to result in a decline. And in that situation your repurchase rate will have to be right up there. On the other hand, if we go through a decline followed by a spike, then your repurchase rate can afford to be a little bit lower, and you can afford to withdraw more. But there is only a certain extent to which we can plan ahead when we don't know what kind of variable percentage rate we're going to get, which of course we don't. No one can even plan to see if we can make a profit, as the disclaimer points out. So this is just a few things to bear in mind, that you need to keep your repurchase rate high in order to be able to grow your account, and so therefore your withdrawal rate needs to be quite conservative until your account is large enough to withdraw those numbers. So I hope that gives you a bit of insight and a little bit of something to think about for those of you who have these numbers in your account and don't quite know what to do with them.